Hello YouTube, welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links deck showcase. Today I'm going to be doing things a little different. I'm going to go over the deck list first, and then I'll show you a few replays of the deck, so I won't be doing any actual live duels. So this is an Odion chain burn, but it features this trap card, Bad Reaction to Simochi, which basically makes your opponent lose life points when they would gain life points. And the cards that we use to give our opponents life points are Reign of Mercy and a Stray Odion, which also heals your opponent. It heals you and your opponent when destroyed by battle. I also run one copy of the Eye of Truth. Honestly, this card doesn't really come up, so that's why I have it just at one. And the rest of the deck is just standard Odion burn, attack and receive, and Jar of Greed to go through the deck quickly. I also run one Jar of Avarice just in case I need to recycle my Reign of Mercy or my attack and receive. And it also acts sort of as a +1 when you have it set. So let's get into the replays. This first replay, it's not in rank. It's actually against Pegasus level 50. I just needed to show you this because I believe he starts with Breaker, and so that's really bad for any deck that uses back row. But I had a top deck that was just awesome, and I needed to show you guys. So yeah, I think he goes first, and he summons Breaker.
Put yourself in by dueling me. Duel. My turn. I'd like you to meet my mother.
Let's see. Yeah, he goes first. I believe what I end up doing is just setting all 3 traps, hoping that he won't destroy my golden apples, because that's like my only defense. I draw into another Reign of Mercy, which is, it's okay unless he destroys my Bad Reaction, which that would suck. But of course he goes for the golden apples, if I remember correctly, leaving me completely defenseless. Luckily he doesn't summon anything else in attack, so he only hit me for 2100. Either way, it's pretty much game the next turn unless I top deck something crazy, which I actually end up doing, as you will see. I activate Bad Reaction to Simochi, burn it for 200, then I activate my attack and receive, which is gonna get him 700 damage plus the 200 from the skill, so that's 900. So that puts him at 2900, and I have 2000 damage in my hand. So the only card I can top deck to win this is my 3rd Reign of Mercy. I just thought it was crazy. It was such a quick farm, and I think I got 2 SRs and 1 SR stone, so it was pretty cool. Look at that, Reign of Mercy is so good. Not only does it burn your opponent, but it helps you stall because you're gaining those life points. But anyway, that's it for first replay. Let's go on to the second one. This second replay is against Joey, and this one was pretty much the easiest win I got with this deck. As soon as I saw Joey, I thought, if this is last gamble, it's gonna be game. It's just too easy. But he was running a pretty interesting deck, as you will see. We're actually gonna watch this replay from his perspective. So he's running Final Destiny, which basically blows up the field if you discard 5 cards from your hand. I go first. I set 3, and I set my as Odion in defense mode, and then just end my turn. He starts by just searching his Thunder Dragon, and he just ends turn. So at this point, because he's not committing any cards, I'm thinking to myself, this is definitely last gamble. He's just trying to get to that 5th turn. I flip up one of my Jar of Greeds, and I believe I chain a second one. Yeah, I chain a second one. And at this point, I'm not afraid of anything because I know what his end game is to, you know, go for last gamble and swing for game. So I believe I flip my monster and just attack directly, yeah. Which this damage is not really doing much, because it is a last gamble deck. But I think I was doing it just in case it wasn't a last gamble deck. I was also a little afraid of luck is on your side, but I've never seen those decks run Thunder Dragon, so I didn't expect it to be that. So in this turn, I believe I don't do much. I just swing for another 1300. And the next turn he's gonna be able to use last gamble, which I thought it was hilarious. He's got 6 cards in hand. He's gonna draw 1 to get to 7. He's gonna dump both of the Thunder Dragon. He rolls a 5. Excuse me, gets to 10 cards in hand, and I immediately flip my Eye of the Truth, burning him for 200 and just winning the game. This guy had a 10 card hand and he couldn't do anything. I was laughing.
I gave it my all, but it's
Alright, let's go to our next replay. This next replay, it's Burn versus Burn. I go up against Tea, which is that infamous burn deck that requires a really high skill level to use. So in this game, I'm hoping that I go first, but of course I don't. She goes first, and just what you've seen 1,000 times. Goes for Revolution, burns for 1,000. And then he uses Goblin Teeth, I believe. Yeah, Goblin Teeth. And that's why I was really hoping to go first in this game, because had I had my bad reaction to Simochi down, that would have burned both of us for 500. Instead, she goes to 5,000, which kind of sucks in a burn deck when when you're trying to burn your opponent down. But because it's a Tea burn deck, I know that she probably has no defense. I realize that that's more than likely just attack and receive, so I just go ahead and swing for 1,300. And sure enough, there's the attack and receive, which I have one of my own set. So she draws, activates another Revolution, bringing me down to 700 life points. But I'm also able to bring to activate my attack and receive. I have a Rain of Mercy in hand, which is gonna burn her for 1,000 and give me 1,000 life points. So I'm feeling pretty confident in this game at this point. So I get to do 1,200 damage and heal myself 1,000. I have an attack and receive, which is basically gonna give me game if she tries to burn me for anything. And there's no card that's gonna do 1,700 damage. So at this point the game was over. Excuse me, been feeling a little sick lately. That's why I was waiting to record, and I thought maybe doing replays wouldn't be as hard to do since I've been having a cold for the last couple of days. So yeah, it's game over right here, because anything she activates to burn, I can chain my attack and receive and I just win. She she goes for a couple of A's, gets a tails, I draw 2, and then just scoops. It was one of the most satisfying wins with this deck, just because Tea is such a crappy deck. I don't have the cards to make it, and I haven't used it, but every time I'm like about to rank up, I always go up against Tea, and I just lose turn 1. I don't see how that's Yu-Gi-Oh. Anyway, this is this is a 4th replay. This duel was pretty interesting. It's kind of a weird combination of Yugi and fairies. I didn't get to see which skill this guy had, but you'll see the game. Oh, by the way, all these duels were in Gold 2 and Gold 3. I didn't win every single game, but this deck did pretty well. The only hard matchups were pretty much Harpies, just because your deck relies on back row, and you know, every time they summon a Harpy, they just get to destroy your cards. But yeah, I think that deck did pretty well all in all. So here I just he sets 2, I set my back row, activate my Jar of Greed, and set another 3. I think I have a golden apple set, and that's why I didn't summon any monster at that point. Yeah, so he goes for the combo with Freya, summoning her Knight at 2300 damage, and I think I activate golden apples. Yeah, I activate golden apples to get my life points back. He does get to drop, so but there's nothing I could have done about that. Oh, and then I chain attack and receive. Yeah. Attack and receive is so good in this deck, or you know, in any chain reaction deck, just because it's 900 burn damage, and if you have 1 in the grave, it's an extra 300. That's pretty crazy. But anyway, I get my token, and I think I tried to crash into Air Knight. Yeah, I go for the crash. My opponent actually misplays here, because he he activates Mirror Wall in the battle step, letting me chain my Windstorm, which you know, I don't lose my token, I lose some life points, and he does get a draw, but at least I have a monster that I can defend. And then in this next turn, out of nowhere, my opponent does this. He pays for Mirror Wall, knowing that I have a burn deck. Like, if that phase down with attack and receive, the game's over. I did not understand that play at all, and I thought it was pretty interesting that he went with Guardian Angel, because I had the counter for it. That's probably why he ended up paying for Mirror Wall, now that I think about it, because he thought he was just gonna get his life points back, but he attacks into my Odion, which is gonna burn him for 800, and that's the game. Yeah, that was a pretty cool.
I may have lost, but I have no regrets.
Well, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this deck, and also please let me know what you thought about my new layout. Someone told me I needed a nicer background instead of it being all black, so I try to get a little artistic. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.